So, guys, this is Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're just joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe to this channel and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. This video I'm about to show you will, open your eyes to understand what is happening in this Simon Ekpa's case versus Finland, because right now Finland is even in trouble, for detaining Simon Ekpa. Let me leave you to watch the video. Thank you.
Here in the capacity of a representative of the Organization of Emerging African States. That's an organization, governmental organization that Biafra is a founding member of in 2011. And the Organization of Emerging African States is highly concerned about the continued detention of the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. And we have therefore had a board meeting and we've done an investigation of his detention, as well as the detention of Biafra's best ally, Ayaba Cho Lucas of Amazonia, who is also detained on similar charges in Norway. And we've looked into this, and the Organization of Emerging African States has come to some conclusions, and we're issuing a public declaration today regarding your prime minister, as well as Ayaba Lucas Cho. There's these two cases are linked. As you know, Prime Minister Ekpa was taken into custody by the Finland authorities, and he remains there under investigation. What you may not know is the conditions of his detention are very harsh. Solitary confinement. His access to the outside world is limited. So we know this because we have debriefed three of the other four detainees who have since been released. There's very serious concerns on the part of OES about how they were treated. So this was done, and we believe the conditions that Cho are imprisoned under in Norway are quite similar. In Norway and Finland, of course, they could imprison people, detain people, they call it, on remand, almost indefinitely while they continue to investigate the allegations. The main concern, besides the conditions imprisonment of the OAS, which we are very distressed about, the main concern is how these allegations against Cho and Ekpa came about, and who was behind these allegations. Was it the government of Finland and Norway? No, they are complicit in this, but we know that in August, a delegation of Nordic ministers, including the foreign minister of Finland, went to Abuja, where they met with representatives of Nigerian government and ECOWAS. And at that time, it was noted that in the Nigerian press, the foreign minister of Finland was quoted as saying that she would soon have Simon Ekpa arrested. Now, at the time, the prime minister was aware of that, and we just kind of wrote that off. Simon Ekpa, he's an EU citizen. This cannot happen. This is just the Nigerian press. But what was that meeting about of the Nordic ministers and the Nigerians in ECOWAS? Well, it had to do with political and economic favors that were being exchanged. And shortly thereafter, of course, Lucas Ayaba Cho was arrested in Norway in August. And again, we thought, well, maybe that's just a coincidence. But now we see Simon Ekpa arrested in November of this year on similar charges. So it's clear that this is a quid pro quo situation. It has the appearance here, the OAS, that Norway and Finland were promised favors by the Nigerian and Cameroonian governments. And in exchange for those favors, they were to deliver up, or at least take out of circulation, neutralize Simon Ekpa and Ayaba Lucas Cho. So, and that is indeed what happened, and that is indeed the appearance here. And I might point out, both Ekpa and Cho are EU citizens of Finland and Germany. That did not matter. They are sitting there in solitary confinement right now, facing charges. Now, what are the charges? Well, very similar in the case of Cho. In Norway, it is something to do with instigating crimes against humanity using the internet or some nonsense like that. And in the case of the prime minister, similar charges, except they're throwing the word terrorism about that they're investigating. Somehow he's involved with terrorism. They don't even, specify what the terrorist organization is or what's going on with that. So the allegations are coming directly from the oppressors, from Cameroon and Nigeria. And both Cameroon and Nigeria are well-known human rights abusers. Of course, I don't need to tell you as Biafrans what has happened in Biafra and Nigeria as a whole in the last 20 years. I don't need to tell you what's going on in neighboring Ambazonia for the last 5 years or more. How many people have been killed? How many people are killed each year in Nigeria? This is a fact. Yet, Finland and Norway are taking the allegations from these two countries that are the human rights abusers. So we have a lot of concern about the source of the allegations, because if there are human rights abuses, it is the direct fault of Nigeria. It's the direct fault of Cameroon. If people are defending themselves after years of being subjugated to this, that is the fault of the oppressing governments. That's not a crime. So we have a concern. And of course, it's not like Norway and Finland don't know the circumstances. As you know, there was a large report issued a few months ago about the deaths of Christians in Nigeria over the last few years. But yet they're taking the information from the Nigerian government. And we see General Musa making the head of the Nigerian armed forces, making public pronouncements just in the last few weeks that he will neutralize Simon Ekpa, remove him from circulation. And we see the state governors in Nigeria saying the same thing and making new allegations against Simon Ekpa. And we see their mouthpieces in the Nigerian press and the provocateurs that are part of the security system making the same allegations. So OEAS is very concerned that the governments of Norway and Finland are conducting an investigation based on information that is solely provided by human rights abusers. The people who are responsible for the crimes are the ones who are accusing Simon Ekpa of the crime. So we're concerned about that. And we're coming forward with our declaration, which is in the hands of the DPM and which we will be distributing worldwide in the next few days. We also are suggesting that if Finland and Norway are really doing an investigation of what is going on in Cameroon and Nigeria and Ambazonia and Biafra, that when they do actually discover war crimes, genocide, and crimes against humanity, which we know have happened, but those crimes are being committed by the agents and armed forces of Cameroon and Nigeria. And therefore, we're telling Norway and Finland that they need to refer the matter of the crimes being committed by Nigeria and Cameroon to the International Criminal Court, which has the appropriate level of expertise to evaluate these crimes. So this is what's being done on the international level. And again, the victims of this are holding themselves up. We've talked to some of the people, the detainees who've been released, and they've comported themselves in a heroic manner. So I want you to know Biafra is not standing alone. It has friends on the international level, and we will be distributing this worldwide and calling out the governments of Nigeria and Cameroon, who are the ones who have instigated the arrest of Simon Ekpa and Lucas Ayabacho.
So guys, if you all watch it now, what's your take on this? Please kindly drop your comment below the comment section. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Share this video, let it go viral so that Biafrans will understand what is happening in this Mazi Simon Ekpa versus Nigerian government and Finland case. Thank you and bye for now. Biafra.